Welcome to the Sample Chapter Podcast, the show where authors read a sample chapter from one of their books. Here's your host, Jason A. Meiske.
Hello, Sample Chapter listeners, and welcome to episode 285 of the show. Last week's guest, Terri Hanauer, has returned for part 2 of our special with her, and this week we're featuring sample chapter reading from her debut novel, The Lightness of Rain. Hey, don't forget to go back to last week's episode. There's a link in the show notes, episode 284, where we had a wonderful discussion with Terri, and we discussed a whole slew of topics, such as how her book happened so organically, yet turned out so intricate with the varying storylines that intertwine throughout. And then you get to hear a little bit of that today in this mesmerizing reading that Terri does. It's fantastic, and it's really gonna, I believe, it's really gonna make you very anxious to download or order her book right away. That's coming up here in just a moment. Like I said, don't forget to click that link in the show notes for last week's episode, and if you're looking for the book or how to contact Terri, you can do so through those links down there as well. Hey, I want to send out a special thanks to the Karma Community Center in Blue Springs, Missouri. Had a fantastic time there over the weekend with the murder mystery event that was going on, the book event. Each of us authors in attendance had a clue at our table, how to solve the murder. And then, people who attended, they got like a little disguised mustache, a magnifying glass, a chart to keep track of all their notes and everything, and went around and collected all the clues from each author that was there in attendance, as well as a brand new podcast, the Missouri Mayhem, the true crime podcast that just began. And that was fun to get to talk to them, talk a little shop, as it were, with some podcasters in attendance. And let me tell you, there were a lot of fantastic authors there. I got the real joy of getting to speak to each one of them, and I think some of them may even be coming on the show before long. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, the Karma Community Center put on a fantastic event, and it was very well done, and it was a whole lot of fun. So that was cool. Of course, as always, if you're looking for any of my books, I do have a link for that in the show notes as well. All right, well, without further ado, how about we go ahead and hop on over to that wonderful reading from Terri Hanauer and her debut novel, The Lightness of Rain.
Allison, January the 4th, 2018. Allison needed soy sauce. The only thing still safe to eat in the fridge was the veggie rice roll stuffed with carrots and cucumber and wrapped in seaweed. The bottle was so far back in the cupboard, she had to get on her toes to reach it. She was just about to twist the cap open when she looked at the best used by date. 4 January 2015. That was her 47th birthday. Exactly 3 years ago. Today was her 50th. She poured the soy sauce down the drain and walked to the side of the house, trying not to spiral as she threw the bottle into the blue recycling bin. There was her car, a light green Ford Mustang convertible. She couldn't remember the last time she drove with the top down. It made her feel too vulnerable, exposed like that. She opened the trunk. A small suitcase lay there, packed and waiting for a spur-of-the-moment trip, along with a pile of old calendar books she was going to shred. 2015 was easy to find. She looked at the January pages. The 4th was a Sunday. And then that thing happened to her. That rush, like hot cement, melting into her gut. There was a red star on the date of her 47th birthday in the 2015 calendar. That was the day she left Vincent. It was the day she decided to go incognito, become one of those middle-aged women who wear clogs and no makeup, someone no one notices anymore. She was tired of all the lies, especially the ones she told herself. It was a self-imposed exile. She disappeared into the landscape, and that was fine with her. She still had her teaching, of course, but she was done trying to find love. She would look inward instead, and she would write. Allison was curious. She went to the blue bin to retrieve the bottle of soy sauce. She gripped its neck and smashed it against the garage wall, dragged a piece along her arm. Just a small scrape, just enough to break the skin. It had been years. It hurt a little, like she expected it would. It wasn't the same as when she was 21 and reeling from heartbreak. She licked the scarlet beads off her skin so the wound would heal faster. That's what her best friend Susie told her when they were in high school. Susie's arms and thighs looked like stained glass windows, without the stain or the glass, just the lead seams that held the irregular pieces in place. They'd been in an all-girl band, Juicy Kisses. Susie was the singer, Allison was the drummer. She felt her heart brighten whenever they played. That feeling happened again with Jesse. But with him, there was more, so much more. It had been true, their love, truer than anything she felt ever again. She didn't want to think about him now because that always led to... Allison looked down. A pigeon feather lay on the dark, oil-stained garage floor. The late-day sun was hurling golden spots onto her car. It looked like it had freckles. Or maybe little scars. She had a few of those from her early 20s, her Juicy Kisses days. She told her lovers and husbands make-believe stories about the art on her body. I was a painter's model and fell out of his studio window. I survived a small plane crash. I was locked in a building and the only way to escape was to jump through the glass doors. But they knew, her lovers. They toasted each other's suffering with vodka and cocaine, continuing their passionless pretense of romance when their true love was the alcohol, the powder, the pain. Allison went back inside to the bathroom, turned on the cold water, and splashed her face. She looked at the birthday presents she bought for herself. Lipsticks in the tin box that once held loose-leaf Darjeeling tea from her trip to India. They were falling all over themselves like the pick-up sticks of her youth. A pale shade of burgundy called Very Berry Berry caught her eye. She twirled it on her lips like she was putting icing on a wedding cake. Each delicate stroke a loving wish for the happy couple. Her tongue moved across her mouth. It tasted like blueberries. Allison unbraided her long red hair. She looked at her reflection and smiled. She was remembering herself. She was still pretty in that tired sort of way. She was still... what? With her free hand, she wiped the mirror clean, then kissed it again and again until the surface was very berry berry. Her face was fractured in the purple gloss. Her gray eyes were filled with bitter sweetness. Or was it sweet bitterness? Funny, she thought, and laughed, a road work of tiny lines appearing on her soft cheeks. A ladybug flew in the bathroom window and landed on the edge of the sink. It let Allison nudge it onto her left thumb. It walked across her fingers and stopped on the fourth one, the ring finger. I want to begin again. Allison brought the ladybug up to her lips. It's my 50th birthday, she whispered. And I want to begin again. It opened its tiny wings and stopped in midair for a millisecond. There was a moment between them, an eye to eye, a heart to heart, a secret shared, before it flew out and disappeared into the brilliant horizon. There was a faded post-it note taped to the bottom right-hand corner of the mirror. It read, "Be of service to others, there is no greater love." With the tube of very berry berry, she wrote on the mirror just above the note, "Best used by." Allison wasn't ready to put in a date.
And that was Terri Hanauer reading a sample chapter from her debut novel, The Lightness of Rain. The book is available right now. You can click the link in the show notes for the book, for Terri's website, or if you're looking for ways to follow her. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the show so you don't miss out next time when I'm back with a new author, a new book, and a brand new sample chapter. Take care, everybody. Talk to you real soon.